You're watching It's Life with your hosts, Juan Lee and Oliver Marcel. Come join us for enriching, enlightening, encouraging, and thought-provoking conversation. Let's go. What's up, everybody?
Hey, Oliver, what's going on?
It's probably not Wednesday whoever's watching this, but it's Wednesday as we're recording this. How about
It's
that?
gonna be Wednesday.
And,
we still do
is it gonna be
Wednesday.
Wednesday? Okay, cool.
Still
All right,
do
that'll work.
Wednesdays.
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Good, great. Hey, it's springtime Wednesdays.
Yeah, man. I'm loving this this change of weather, man. This is you know what's interesting? I understand. I never really, I don't know if the word is admitted or just never really processed probably the way I should have the effect that the sun has on me personally. You know, we always talk about the importance of vitamin D and you know, you got to get your vitamin D, you got to get it out in the sun. And if you're not getting it from the sun, you got to make sure you're getting it elsewhere. And you know, there's people who kind of suffer through seasonal depression. So when it's dark and it's cloudy and it's rainy and you're going through these winter months, your mood is a little bit different, right? So I've been noticing, man, these days that we've been having really good sun. And for those of you who are watching this, we're both in the DMV area. We're both in the Maryland, DC, Virginia area. We've had some really nice days. And on those really nice days, I've been like, man, it is imperative that I get outside. So I've been trying to stick to my guns on that, man, and get outside and get some sunshine. So today was one of those days. It was cloudy sun, but we had a good portion of sun, and I was outside in it, man. So it's good stuff.
Well, we all need that. And I tell
All
you,
need that.
I got mine yesterday. I didn't get quite today, but I got it yesterday. Got on my bike, and you know, me and my bike is a good thing.
Yeah, good stuff. I love it.
Well, I know that we've been here for a minute, but I want to welcome anyone who's here for the first time. Welcome to It's Life, presented by A Clear Journey, a nonprofit that supports individuals as they venture through this journey called life. And what we do is we provide resources and education in the areas so that you might be able to navigate life more successfully. We use a love mindset so that we can give you the tools, and it's really tools, this thing called love mindset, that allows you to navigate all areas of life. If you want to learn more about it, like you just say, you saw it, go over to clearjourney.org and learn more about it. Also, the thing that is the foundation of our nonprofit, it is a book that I wrote. And the book I wrote is called Love Made Simple, The Guide to Inner Peace, Contentment, and Success. It basically talks about that love mindset so that you can be able to navigate life more successfully. And we believe that as you have that mindset, that this thing called life gets a little bit clearer for you. And so that's where we lay down the foundation. And then you hear from what we provide through education is experts that come on and share their expertise. And then you have that information that's met the right mindset so that you can navigate life more successfully. So if you'd like to pick up a copy of that will support us in this, in our nonprofit, feel free to go there. You can go to the website and get it, or you can go directly to Amazon and get it. But either way, it supports us. 100% goes to support Clear Journey. In addition, we have a gift for you if you go over to our website. And this is something that we really want you to have for free. All you have to do is just go over there and give us, ask for it, and we'll give you this budgeting made easy, and the guide to taking charge of your money. We believe that this is essential, being able to be been able to manage your money. And so we want you to have this for free. Just go over there. Um, just give us some information and it's all yours. Just, we got to know where to send it to. Put your email in and we'll send it to you for free. Um, Other than that, if you are coming back, we appreciate you being here with us again. Hopefully, you've heard something in the past that caused you to come back. And if you have not registered or subscribed to our YouTube channel, by all means, please subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you will know when we upload new episodes. And before we get to our guests, we're going to talk about a little bit of the attitudes, the love attitudes that we're talking about, the love mindset. And today, as we talked about, as you saw on the episode, it's called Power, Peace, Power, and Purpose. And so what does it take? What kind of attitude does it take to possess peace, power, and purpose? It really sounds really interesting because my book, it talks about Love Made Simple, the guide to inner peace, contentment, and success. And in that case, all of our 7 attitudes are in place. And we talk about those attitudes as being sacrifice, discipline, humility, caring, tenacity, responsibility, and courage. And when we want to begin to operate in peace, have the power that's necessary, and operate in purpose, we're going to have to, at some point in some place in our journey, going to have to pull in on those particular attitudes. We're going to be able to have to position ourselves. And our guest tonight, I'm going to assume, we've spoken, but I'm going to assume that we're going to see a lot of these characteristics or these attitudes and some of the things that she's going to be sharing with us. Let's just, let me tell you a little bit about her. She is a master life coach, best-selling author, dynamic speaker, and the founder of a movement that was help Black women claim their power and peace. She was named 2024 Black Woman Owned Brand of the Year and recognized as the woman to watch in 2023. She's a transformative. She transforms the lives of women entrepreneurs across the country. Her mission to empower Black women to thrive mentally, emotionally, and spiritually while building and living and the business they deserve. Let's welcome our guest, Cassandra Hill. Thank you very much, Cassandra, for being with us.
Thanks so much for having me, Juan and Oliver. Pleasure to be here.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you. Looking forward to this conversation. I was kind of skimming through the website, so yeah, I'm looking forward to this conversation. So welcome.
We're going to give you the floor and let people know more about you, where you're from, how you got started in doing what you do, and then we'll take it from there.
Well, I'm hailing from the natural state, also known as Arkansas. I'm a Southern woman. I was born and raised here in Arkansas, but actually after college, I lived in Texas for many years. So I've always been a Southern woman. And my background, believe it or not, my master's degree is in gerontology. And if you're like most people, you're thinking, what in the world is that, Cassandra? But it's just a long word for saying that I studied aging, the aging process. And so my first half of my career, I worked in corporate as a gerontologist, working mostly with the older adult population, ensuring that they had the best quality of life possible until they transitioned. And fast forward to today, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an author, speaker, and master life coach. And I've been an entrepreneur for the past 7 years now.
Hey,
that's excellent.
you just threw me a whole curveball. I just want you to know that. I just want you to know that. You threw me a real curveball with that gerontology.
Yeah, most people who I say that to, they're like, what is that? Or you can see the look on their face and they're like, I don't know what that is, but I'm not going to ask.
No. Here's the thing. I know exactly what it is. I know exactly what it is. And the thing about it is, I'm like, I need you now more than ever.
That's funny. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, man, a gerontologist would be quite helpful at this in this season of our lives, indeed. But so I know that's probably not what we're going to talk about, but I just have a quick question as it relates to that. So,
Sure.
what piqued your interest to the point where you would get a degree in that?
Well, actually, it's so funny. I was working on my bachelor's degree, and I ended up getting an internship at the area agency on aging. And I thought, why would the college put me here? And I'm just around old people all the time. But I loved it. I loved it so much. I thought, surely there's a way that I can specialize in aging, because I'd never heard of gerontology. I didn't realize it was a major, didn't realize people become gerontologists. So I found myself in the library just doing research and learned about gerontology. And I was in my senior year of my bachelor program, and I applied and got accepted to both colleges I applied for. But that internship was such a game changer for my life. And I learned so much from the seniors that I was blessed to serve. And I think for me, growing up, my grandfather on my mother's side, I never knew him. He died before I was born. And my grandmother, I did know, but she passed as a kid, when I was a kid. And so the only grandparent that I had to see me become an adult, graduate college and everything was my paternal grandmother. And so I always had a special bond with her. And I think with that and along with the internship, I was like, I really like older people. And combined with those experiences with my grandparents, all experiencing challenges with their health and everything, it just made me have that desire to want to enter the field.
Nice.
Well, I'm look, this, like I said, this made a serious turn for me, because this conversation, you got to understand, in my book, Love Made Simple, it talks about various stages of life. It talks about teenagers, young adults, seniors, adults, and then seniors. And we have not had, I can't recall an episode that has been identified someone who speaks on the level of the seniors in their health challenge. I take that back. We might have had one. We had a doctor that does some travel. She does travel. She comes to people's houses, and it's typically for the elderly. But gerontology is something that live long enough and you're going to need it.
Yeah.
You're going to need it. And I'm curious as to what made you pivot from that if you liked it so much?
Well, actually, as much as I loved it, for many Black people, but especially Black women working in corporate America, we're taught we have to work 10 times as hard to get what's handed to the next person. So I found myself working, doing what I love, but working myself to exhaustion, working very long hours, neglecting my health, my well-being. And our bodies are designed to rest, and if you will not give your body rest, eventually your body will make you rest.
Mhm.
And that's basically what happened. After a little over a decade in the senior care industry, my body shut down,
Mm.
complete shutdown. And at that time, I was diagnosed with systemic lupus. And I was still in my 30s at that time. And so I knew my life would look different. Um, when I first got diagnosed, I started treatment. Part of my treatment included chemo drugs. And so I couldn't go back, just with the side effects from that medication. And honestly, I thought, well, I'm going to get better. And once I get better, I am going back once I'm better. But unfortunately, I wasn't getting any better. I was getting worse. The side effects just became so overwhelming. And so I'm like, okay, what's next? What can you do? And I ended up back in college, started studying alternative medicine, taking courses in health and wellness. The more I learned, I started applying to myself. And eventually, God blessed me to develop a regimen that put me in remission. And I just was so pleasantly surprised, but surprised nonetheless. I went to the doctor to get a transfusion, was there to get another treatment. They ran my labs and everything was normal. That was in 2016. I've been in remission since then. And so I knew that healing wasn't just for me. I knew God didn't heal me just for me to be healed and live my normal life. And that's when things started changing again. And it's like, okay, he healed me so I can guide others to their healing. And that's what created the shift to what I'm doing today.
Hmm.
You
That's
you
awesome.
know that is absolutely remarkable. And here's the thing that gets me is that you went back to school to educate yourself on yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as a result, could you have imagined that your physicians would have been able to lead you to what you received?
No, because actually, I was having problems with my health for years. I went misdiagnosed. My doctors thought I was anemic. In college, I was diagnosed as anemic and had been treated for that for years and years. But I always thought something was off because there would be times where I just did not feel good at all. And then gradually would get better. And I'm like, well, if I'm anemic, why isn't this treatment as more effective for me? So yeah, I'll tell anyone I'm not a doctor. I'm a gerontologist. So I'm not attempting to give you medical advice. But what I will say, you are with you 24/7.
Mhm.
No one knows your body better than so trust your gut because they never got it right. Even when I got the diagnosis, I was the one who started looking at my medical records and noticing the patterns. And I'm like, okay, it does seem like I have some type of autoimmune condition. So let me just start doing more research on autoimmune conditions.
Mhm.
And I was the one who told my doctor, okay, I'm getting tested. You're testing me to see if I have lupus because I was a textbook case and no doctor bothered to take the time to delve deeper.
Wow. Wow, there's a lesson right there. Like, listen to your body
Yeah.
and follow your gut.
Yeah.
And if you're not getting what you think you're getting, uh, demand more.
Yeah.
I,
Demand more. And it's really important for us because Black people, we're more likely to have chronic and autoimmune conditions like heart disease, type 2 diabetes, um, lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, the list goes on and on, where we're so high risk for these conditions. And oftentimes our pain is ignored. And part of that is culture, especially when you think about the Black woman. We've been coined the strong Black woman, and it's like, oh, you're not really in pain. It's not that bad. You're okay. Well, I know when I'm in pain. Yeah, I'm in pain. I'm not a drug seeker. I'm not, you know. So when you notice things aren't right with your healthcare provider, it's okay to look for other options.
you
I
you
love it.
you bring a good point up in the sense that because when you said that earlier, I was thinking, what is it that prevents us from seeking and not, when you said we ought to know ourselves, we should know ourselves. Nobody should know us more than ourselves. And I've been on a health journey for probably the last 5 years. And as we were talking prior to the recording tonight, I was talking about another regiment that I'm getting on, and it's basically because I'm not content with what I'm hearing from the physicians. And they're not. I'm like, okay, I'm 60-ish. I'm coming up on my 60s, but I feel like I'm way over that. And I'm like, so my point is that I guess my question is, how do we know when we recognize when we're up against aging? How do we recognize that it's just not okay to accept those things that are just have been taught to be just a part of our aging process?
Yeah. Well, first thing, let's clarify, normal aging is not a disease process. Yes, where your body experience changes, yes, but normal aging is not a disease process. So when you think about um, dementia, for example, you have various types of dementia. Most people are familiar with Alzheimer's. That's not normal aging. That is a disease process. Now, as you get older, will you experience a little forgetfulness? Yes, that's normal, but that's not dementia. That's not Alzheimer's. That's not what it is. Just forgetting where you put your keys is not dementia. So it's really important to know that you should not expect to live in dis-ease just because you're aging. Now, you may end up having a disease, and a lot of times that's just based on our lifestyle choices play a huge factor in that, as well as genetics play a factor in it as well. But normal aging is not a disease process.
That's a mic drop right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because I don't know if I've ever heard someone say that before. And I mean, it's almost that we've heard the exact opposite. It's like that's the answer to why you feeling the way you're feeling is because you're getting older.
Yeah.
And that's you're supposed to feel like that.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
that's amazing to hear. You know what? But here's the point. How do you prevent that though? You were talking about your lifestyle and genetic. These are the things that you can't prevent unless you know you're preventing them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because the natural thing is, if you don't do something, if you don't do the right things, if you don't prepare yourself, there's a reason why we have those chronic illnesses.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have a history
Died.
with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Died. The average adult, you're going to need about 9 to 13 servings of fruits and veggies for optimal health. You know, um, limited amounts of red meat, pork, some of the things a lot of us enjoy,
Yeah.
um, soda, all that acid, alcohol, it's moderation. It's not saying that, oh, I'm never going to eat a donut but moderation, paying attention to what you put in your body and not only what you're eating and drinking, but what you're putting here. It's so important. We're seeing in real time right now, we're in a time where so many of us are working in toxic work environments. I recently saw on the news a Black woman who went to work. She was a federal employee and put her head down and died.
Wow.
And it was due to the stress and overwhelm she was facing in her work environment. So just paying attention to our mental and emotional well-being is critical. And for many of us, we think that we have to tolerate and put up with toxicity, whether it's in our workplace, relationships. It's made to feel normal, and it's not. And this is one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about the movement of self-love, because when you love yourself, you genuinely love yourself, there is not a dollar amount anyone could pay me to treat me like I'm less than.
And that's something. How do you transition? How do you change from that mindset, from a person who have been in that type of environment, that type of a situation, to identify it and then make a change, make a move?
Yeah, it definitely requires a mindset shift. One of the things I recommend to women I work with, sometimes I get brothers that work with me as well. Affirmations are really great because that's something you could say every day, repetitive, and whatever the brain hears. The amazing thing about this brain, it doesn't change much from childhood to adulthood. Like as a child, you believe things that were not true. But you thought they were true, so it changed your behavior. You believed in the tooth fairy, so you put the tooth under the pillow, got some money, but the whole time it was your parents. But because you thought it was real, you made that action. It's no different as an adult. When the brain hears something repeatedly, it starts moving in that direction. So highly recommend doing affirmations daily. For most people, when you get started, you may want to say them 2-3 times to really get it in your mind. And it doesn't hurt to have a professional as well, whether you have a therapist or a life coach, but someone to guide you. Because in order for us to become the best version of ourselves, you will need support. You will need support. It's just like if I went outside right now and attempted to push my vehicle. There's no way. There's no way I could do it. But let's say I ran out of gas and I needed a push to the gas station, and there were like 4 guys there to push. Easy breezy. So if you're willing to do the real work in transforming your mind, that's a big task. Mm. Seeking support is normal.
Yeah.
It is. And necessary.
Yes. Yeah.
And necessary. I love it. And I love that analogy about support and with the vehicle. That's something that you can definitely picture, and it resonates with everybody. Um, so somebody coming to you for this level of support, right?
Yeah.
What is the first thing that you are going to, obviously without giving away proprietary information because we want people to work with you, but what is the first thing that they should expect to happen?
What you should expect from me, I'm not one of those people that's going to give you a quick fix.
Mm.
That is not Cassandra. I'm not the coach you should come to where you want results within a week. Won't happen because we're about to do some real work. Normally, the first thing I can say, and I can share this for free, you're going to detox. It's not just a detox of this body, it's a detox of mental. Because you could drink, you could go out and get you some green smoothies, get the refrigerator stocked with all the fruits and veggies and everything, be good to go. But if you're doing that and you're still in toxic environments on a regular basis, you will not be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So alongside doing that detox, getting all that gunk out your body and putting good stuff in, we're detoxing from social media, television. You're feeding your mind positivity, and normally I recommend clients do that between 5 to 7 days. But it's real work. I'm not cookie cutter. I'm not going to tell you that. I know there's so many people out there saying, well, you can work with me and we'll get you to 6 figures in 60 days. I'm not going to tell you that lie. I operate in integrity. Now, you will get some amazing results if you're willing to do the work, but it's work.
Yeah,
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that too, because there are a lot of folks in this coaching industry who, I remember when I did my executive coaching certification, one of the first things they said was, uh, do not give your clients guarantees. And what they were referring to was just what you're talking about, like work with me and you be a millionaire in 12 months. I'm like, yeah, okay. And if I'm not a millionaire, then what?
Yeah, then what
Right.
happened?
So what the truth of the matter is, work with me and I'll be a millionaire in 12 months.
Yeah.
You gonna pay me all this money, right? And you ain't gonna be one, but I'm gonna be one. You know what I
mean? Yeah, that's the truth. And you know what's so crazy about that? You have so many people who aren't operating in integrity, and like you said, they're just, their sole purpose is to fast track their pockets to 6-7 figures, sometimes beyond that, even with deceit. But what I love about what I do, the people that I serve, and I feel this is why my clients resonate with me so well, and why I have a 100% satisfaction with the people I serve, is you get the results. I'm thinking of one lady right now had a business, and as we're working, doing the work, she was able to get Google as a client. We worked on that, and that became her reality. However, I'm not going to say like, hey, come work with me and I'll get you Google as a client too, because I don't know. I know I'm gonna be 100% focused, and yeah, I'm gonna strain and make sure we're a good fit. but ultimately you will have to do some work. Now, if you do the work, it's a good chance you'll have some results. It might not be like hers because everybody's at different points in their journey. Um, but it's just operating in integrity and being honest, you know?
Yeah, I like that. And understanding the other part of that too is understanding that from a client perspective, you will have to work. Like it's
Yeah.
not, there's no
Yeah.
magic potion. You
Yeah.
know, you're gonna have to put in some effort as well. So
Yeah.
good stuff.
Hey, got a question. How does a woman understand her spiritual health is out of balance?
Yeah. I feel like when your spiritual health is out of balance, one, you'll notice that you're not getting clarity on your steps, on what you should be doing. You might not even have a vision. Visions come from God. So if you don't have clarity around that, it's a good sign that there's some work to do in your spiritual well-being. Another thing is when you find yourself not having, I call them board meetings with Jesus,
Mhm.
you know, because if he gave you the vision, yeah, you may have your name on some document that makes you legally responsible, but at the end of the day, it's his. So if you're not communicating on what will this look like, what should I be doing in this season, if you find yourself just moving in your own direction, just thinking like, oh, let me do this just because you thought of it, um, it might be time for a wellness check and getting tuned up.
Hmm.
It's interesting. So you said in the work that you do, I'm assuming now that you're saying this that this is a spiritual based coaching program in the
Yeah.
sense that without the spiritual element in here, that's the catalyst for getting this done.
Yeah, and everything I do, I'm a woman of faith. I'm a Christian. I know that I'm here alive because God healed me. He blessed me to not only be in the position to get the diagnosis I needed, but to provide the knowledge to reverse that condition. And so, whether it is my work as a master life coach, speaker, author, it will be infused um, with spirituality in some shape, form, or fashion because I'm just grateful and thankful for the life God has blessed me with.
Is that a component that all of your clients possess also?
Yeah, if you're not, for me, we got to make sure we're a good fit for one another
Mhm.
in the coaching process. So I definitely strain and make sure we're a good fit. Um, I'm not saying you have to be knocking at somebody church door every week. I'm not saying that. However, what I am saying when I work with clients in the life coaching space, I'm praying for you. Um, yeah, I'm gonna develop a strategy that propels you forward, but it's not just me, it's God. So if you have a problem with that, we're not a good fit.
That's fair. I mean, that's absolutely
Yeah.
fair. And understanding that your course requires some requirements of the clients,
Yeah.
and they got to show up in the right way. That's good. That's good to know. That's really good.
Talk about I was looking on the website and you talked about being an author. I was looking at some of the books. What And everybody always asks this question with authors about the writing process and that kind of thing. But beyond just the writing process, what put you in the frame of mind to say, okay, I need to get what's in me out in that form?
Yeah. Well, I became an author by accident, actually, as life would have it. I After I went through a miscarriage, it was a really challenging time in my life, and I knew I needed God's strength to get through. And so every day I would just open up my Bible, and whatever scripture I felt like spoke to me, I would write that scripture and then just write my thoughts about it. And
Mhm.
I did that for a while. And then as time went on, I found myself in a better place mentally. And I thought those writings were just for me. Those writings, I ended up putting it on my laptop. It floated from so many laptops for, I know, probably 7 years.
Hmm.
And ended up, fast forward, I was speaking at an event. Ayana Van Zant was the keynote speaker, and I was one of the breakout speakers for this event, and it drove so much media attention. Ayana, of
Hmm.
course,
Hmm.
and so publisher reached out to me and was like, "You would you want to be an author?" I'm like, "Well, I have it on my bucket list." And so I was interested, and they were like, "Do you have any writing samples?" And I remember those writings, and I was like, "Yeah, I got a sample."
Mhm.
Gave it to them as a sample, and they loved it. They were like, "This your book," and so that became my first book, which is a devotional, "He Restoreth My Soul, Triumph Through Adversity." But after I wrote that, I realized like I have so much inside of me, and I've always been a writer.
Hmm.
Even as a kid, I loved writing, just never thought about doing it professionally.
Hmm.
And so after that first one got out, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep writing, and because I just have more to share.
Nice. I love it.
Hmm.
I love it. I love it.
I,
And
I don't
as you
think.
were, go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Oliver.
Well, I was just going to say real quick, as you were talking about that, like journaling through the text, I was like, yeah, that's a book, definitely, because that's essentially what most of those devotionals are, right? It's just
Yeah.
our thoughts around our time, with that particular passage of scripture, um, you know, and relating it to whatever specific scenarios happen in our lives. So, man, that's good stuff. I'm gonna have to grab a copy of that.
Yeah. Well, thank you in advance. But I tell you, that book, and I still share it. I pray it's still blessing lives. It ended up winning a Book Excellence Award in the spirituality category. And I say this to encourage the listeners. You never know why pain happens in your life. I
Mhm.
never thought going through a miscarriage, losing a baby at the one of the hardest times in my life, that something like this would have came from it.
Mhm.
And inspiring others that no matter what you're going through, you can overcome with God. But you just gotta take that walk of faith.
Yeah.
That's all in perspective. Being able to adjust your perspective to situations, you can see things a little bit differently, and so that's a prime example as to what love does. It changes, it alters your perspective, and so that's a powerful thing that you shared there. Give us a little one more tip for our audience as it relates to, let's say, preventing burnout or navigate life from your perspective. Give us one little tip that you can give the audience to share with us.
Preventing burnout. Boundaries. Can we say boundaries? Y'all, get some boundaries. You say yes to everything. You could have a million tasks going on and somebody come along and it might be some worthwhile. I'll give you an example. I had a nonprofit reach out to me. It's like, hey, Cassandra, we love the work you're doing in the community. Would you be willing to tutor people who want to learn how to read? And that is a worthwhile cause. And I want everybody to know how to read. But guess what? My cup, I just don't have the space to add any other volunteerism to my plate at this time. So I declined.
Mm-hmm.
Learn how to accept boundaries. Give a very quick no and a slow yes. Because when you give those slow yeses, you're saying yes to the things that will move you closer to that vision that God gave you. Because if you're spending all your day just busy work, you're not good for yourself or even the people you're serving. Your yeses should align to that vision He gave you. So set some boundaries. Don't apologize for it. I don't care what it is. Set those boundaries and act accordingly.
Well, and I'm going to piggyback that.
Okay.
Because you said set boundaries. How do you set boundaries?
For us entrepreneurs, that means having a start time, end time. Be firm with that. Let your clients know when they can contact you. You're not 7-Eleven. You're not 24/7. Having those hard start and end times really important. Having a day, I recommend just having a day where you focus on you, right? Because so many of us enter it, for the entrepreneurs, we say we want this freedom, but then we're working our life away. Have a day where you focus on you, doing personal or professional development, but you're not working on or in your business. Your business will never grow past you. So wherever you're at,
that's your
mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, that's where your business is.
Would you say in a snapshot is to be able to be balanced, is to be able to have boundaries?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That's deep. That's a deep statement. Your business will never grow past you.
No. No.
Understand that. Understanding the fact is that you're as much a hindrance as a help to your business.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna. A lot of what you said tonight will stick with me, but that statement in particular, I'm like, okay, yeah, I might have to write that down on this whiteboard back here. Your business will never grow past you.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Think about Madam C.J. Walker, first Black woman to reach 7 figures, powerful woman. She paved the way for us today, but her life ended so early. And why? Her health.
Mm-hmm.
Her health. Yeah. So it is imperative for us to understand and realize that even with a quote unquote successful business, if you do not take care of you, it could end in your life being gone, or it could end. What I noticed with women that I experience, whether it's in a coaching setting or just in a professional setting, period, your business will start to decline because you're not productive, So take care of you, be the best version of you so you can serve the people you're called to serve, whether it's family, friends, clients, because at some point, something will drop.
Yeah.
It's either you or the people that you say you care about, but love is an action.
I don't need to say it. You're speaking to the choir there, but yeah, I'm gonna say you're speaking to the choir there. Again, you're just reinforcing the fact of something we talk about here a lot, and it's about the journey. It's about the journey. The destination is the destination, but if you have a whack journey, the destination is kind of useless because you're unprepared. I mean, you're worn yourself out trying to get to a destination. You've got to, and look, we're all in the same space, and everything that you're talking about is new, and you have to recognize that what was perceived as necessary, not at the expense of the journey. And you've got to recognize it. And what you're talking about is, if you don't take care of yourself, it's nothing that you can gain from not taking care of yourself. Nothing.
Yeah.
And so you've really just hammered down again of what the totality of what we're talking about here at Clear Journey is, that, as you said, we talk about that love mindset, but it's actually the ability to be able to actualize it in our lives, in our daily application, so that we can be able to be our best and to be able to reach our full potential. Is to know what you're talking about, what you're sharing with us is saying, look, take care of yourself. You've got to let yourself be priority one. And then all of those things can be added. But if you just running after those things, you're going to run yourself in the ground.
Yeah.
So, Oliver, you have anything you'd like to say before we go? But I know we're going to give some information out on how they can reach Cassandra.
No, this is good. I appreciate what you shared, and just kind of reinforcing some things that have become very important to me over the last few years. So just hearing that again, repetition is not redundancy; it's reinforcement. So I appreciate that. And God does not. I don't believe in coincidences. Right?
No.
So, I appreciate you and your willingness to share. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Hey, that is great. Hey, we want to let people know how they can reach out to contact you. We're gonna put this up on the screen. You see that, Oliver?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Tell them about what this is, what they can find when they go there.
All right. If you head on over to my link tree, you'll see all types of resources. Whether you're an entrepreneur looking for grants, you'll see links there for that. My blog, which recently was named the top blog by FeedSpot in the holistic wellness space, as well as the Christian health and fitness space. So you'll see a few blog posts there, books, where I'm active on social media. You'll see all those links there on my link tree Healer Cassandra. And if I can be of any support to you, if you're looking and you have a question about any of the resources, talk to me. I'm here. My goal is to help as many people as possible live the life they desire. So if there's something I can do to help you along that journey, reach out.
Hey, you have been a lot. You've said a lot tonight. And I think if for the community to hear it and understand that there are resources out here that can help us physically, mentally, emotionally navigate this thing that in many cases we haven't taken into consideration, go check out Cassandra. And she can at least give you the directions that can help you live a more holistic life. Thank you very much for being with us, Cassandra. We're going to wrap the show up, but we're going to ask you to go back into the green room and we will be there to speak with you a little bit, just to thank you a little bit more. But again, thank you for spending this evening with us.
Well, bye, everyone. It's been a pleasure. Look forward to continuing this conversation. Remember, anyone with the ability to love should start with themselves, and that means you.
All right. Thanks a lot.
I love it. That's a great place to end right there, isn't it? I love it. I love it.
Hey man, this is good.
Yeah. Yeah. I see this. I see some follow-up conversations with Cassandra. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
I think so. Oliver, let people know how they can reach you.
Absolutely. If you are a social media person, this is the social media handle right there at Denali LLC, pretty much everywhere. If I had to influence you to choose one, I would say pick YouTube, but it doesn't matter. Wherever you follow us, we're grateful. I am an author, speaker, and coach, very passionate about relationships thriving, both personal relationships and professional relationships. I am also very passionate about seeing men win in every area of their lives. Author of the book, Overcoming the Man Laws, for the man who wants to be his best despite what he was taught. And so as an author, speaker, and coach, I am here to support, to come alongside, to journey with you in whatever segment of life you're in. And so if thriving relationships and winning in every area of your life is important to you, we should probably have a conversation. And so again, social media at Denali LLC. If you are an email person, you can also email me at the email that is on your screen.
Yeah, and we want you to support. And Oliver is one of our strategic partners. So we're looking to help and navigate and support him as he continues to build and support families and relationships and men in particular. Again, we are thankful that we had the guest tonight, Cassandra Hill, and by all means, you all look her up if you have need for her support. And I can't say enough. If there's more that you would like to learn about Clear Journey, go over to clearjourney.org and gather as much as you can there as resources. We have free things there for you. And just come back and see us again because we're here to help you navigate this thing called life a little bit more successfully. So as in closing every time, we can't change life, but we can help you navigate it. Until next time, we'll see you then.
Later.